Hi, and welcome to a gentle yoga practice. My name is Kaylee. I'm backing up to get onto my mat. When you're ready, you can meet me there. We're gonna just lie all the way down onto the back in whatever position is most comfortable for you. So if it feels good to straighten the legs and come into a Shavasana, if your body knows and really relaxes well into that shape, go there. If that doesn't feel so great for a lot of people's lower back, it can be nice to bend the knees, to walk the feet a little wider than your hips and let your knees just drop in toward one another so that they're just very gently kissing in the midline and giving your low back some support. Once you land, let yourself make any little adjustments or shifts so that you can be just a tiny bit more comfortable, wiggle around. And then when you're ready, let your eyes close and gently pull your attention to the rhythm of your breath without needing to judge it or change it. Just noticing the breath. And noticing and allowing the breath perhaps to deepen as you shift your attention to it. Letting the inhales become a little bit fuller, a little bit more expansive into the belly, into the rib cage. And slowing down your exhales. You can use your mouth or your nose as you breathe here. Take a couple more really full inhales without straining for it. Let the breath really fill your torso up, fill your belly, fill your chest. As you exhale, maybe you feel the shoulders relax a bit, release any tension in the hips or gripping through the back. And take one more long inhale, breathing from your tailbone all the way up through the spine to the crown of your head. Pause at the top, hold the breath. Maybe you sip in a little bit more breath, let it swirl around your body. And this time, open your mouth and sigh it out. Bring the palms to face downward here. And then if your knees are bent, you can keep your left knee bent if that feels helpful. Bring both of your legs long on the mat in front of you. So both legs will either be long or the right leg is long and the left knee is bent. And try and find a little bit of a neutral pelvis by pulling the heels into the ground and lifting your knees just a bit. You'll start to feel the abdominals engage. Send a little bit of energy into your feet here. We're going to do an active leg lift and active hamstring stretch. So keep working either on pulling that left heel in if the leg is long, or pressing the left foot down if your knee is bent. And then raise the right leg. Use the muscular strength in the back of that leg to lift it up. Maybe you flex the foot. Pause when you feel that you're at that end range of your motion. And then with control, lower the right leg back down. Keep the right leg long for a moment. Keep your right palm by your side. Let's lift the left arm back over your head. Turn the thumb down toward the ground, and the left palm is facing the right. Good. Take a breath in as you stretch through your right ankle and your left wrist. And then exhale as you lift those 2 points up toward the ceiling. We're not really reaching for the leg right now, just reaching up for the ceiling. Again, inhale as you lengthen it out. And then exhale as you lift up. Maybe you get a little closer. One more big breath in to stretch. As you exhale, reach it all the way up. Stay here. And then catch the back of your right leg wherever you can comfortably and relax into the stretch. So let go of the active engagement of your right leg and just breathe into the stretch. You might let go of your left leg a little bit or a lot here as well. We're working with the hamstrings right now. Right now, just allow those muscles to relax. Let your foot be a little limp. And then we're going to reset the hamstrings. So Put some energy into the right foot, little bend into your right knee. And then imagine that you're moving through like honey as you push the right heel down without bringing the knee closer to you. And then lift it back up. So right knee stays over your hip. Bring the heel down, move through like some imagined resistance here. A couple more. I promise there's a release along the way. And then next time, go ahead and relax that leg into your stretch. Maybe you walk your hands up a little higher. I like to keep my head and my neck down in these stretches, but some people it feels really good to lift up. It kind of depends on what your goal is for your practice. And take a few more rounds of breath, coming back to that kind of beginning of your practice, just pulling your attention into your breath. And let's keep the right leg lifted if you can. Lower both of your arms by your side, palms down. Maybe you shrug the shoulders closer to the ground. And then slowly lower that right leg all the way out in front of you. Legs are together or your left knee still bent. Reach your arms over your head. Take a nice long body stretch here. Breathe in. And then exhale, reset into Shavasana for a moment or that bent knee position. And just notice the sensations in the right side of the body, the sensations in the left side of the body, especially the legs and the feet. And then we'll set up for the same thing on the other side. So again, you can either keep both legs long and straight, or in this case, bend your right knee. If you bring the legs long, bring them close together. Flex your left foot and your right foot. Pull the heels toward your body. If your right knee is bent, just press that right foot down. And then slowly with control, lift the left leg, finding your end range. And lower it back down. Keep the left leg long for a moment. Keep your left hand by your side. Reach your right arm back over your head. Thumb is pointing down. Right palm is facing the left. Reach through your wrist and your ankle. Breathe in. And then long exhale as you lift up. Pause here. Take a big breath in. Exhale and stretch. Nice inhale right here. Exhale and lift. Move through this 2 more times. We're going to keep the leg lifted here. Go ahead and catch or lower the right hand. Send some energy into your left foot. And then pull that heel down. You can reach for the back of the left leg. Trying to remember what we did on the other side. We've got little hamstring curls here. So moving that heel, like you're moving it through really thick honey, like cold honey. Feel the muscles in the back of the leg. The next time you've got that leg reaching up, pause and just let it relax into the stretch. Maybe you bring it a little closer to your body. A couple more rounds of breath here. Keep the left leg lifted, bring your arms to your side, and then slowly lower the left leg all the way down. Long body stretch. Maybe you lengthen your right leg if that knee was bent. Breathe in. And then this time, hug your knees, both of them into your chest, maybe one at a time. Give yourself a little hug. You can rock side to side or front to back. Massage through your lower back and your tailbone, the sides of the hips. We're going to start to rock forward and backward until you can work your way to a tabletop position. So we'll meet on hands and knees here. Once you find your hands and your knees, you can do a little bit of freestyle movement here. I like body circles. You might prefer some cat-cow. Maybe close the eyes. It can be a little bit intimidating to just trust and to just let your body move without needing a lot of instruction from outside. And if that's the case, that's fine. Just do a few rounds of cat and cow. This will almost always have some sort of benefit for the spine for most of us. But see if you can really feel into little areas in the body that maybe you don't often touch base with. So if you're cat cowing, every little segment of the spine, body circles, you might be feeling stuff more in the hips or the neck or the shoulders. When you're ready, come through the center. And then we're going to keep the hips lifted here. I'm going to walk back a little bit so I've got space. Keep your hips lifted as you lower your elbows down. So hips are still right over the knees if possible. And then you can start to crawl the fingers forward. You might stay on the elbows right here and let your chest kind of melt down toward your thighs. Otherwise, you can start to crawl the fingers forward. Maybe the chin touches down, maybe the heart actually touches all the way down. But feel the stretch in your underarms. This can be a not super comfortable stretch for most of us. Our upper back can get pretty used to being in the other positions. We're opening up the chest here, opening up the underarms. Finding some extension in the upper back. The upper back is usually more in flexion here. Finding some rotation in the shoulders. Yoga means union, and we talk about the union of opposites a lot. This is one of those poses. It's a really great kind of counter stretch for most of our life. Most of our modern lifestyle doesn't have us in this range of motion very often. So feel into that kind of opposite energy in the stretch. Breathe with it. Stay with yourself. Just a few more rounds of breath. And start to walk the hands back, maybe one at a time. Press when they're underneath your shoulders to lift the chest. Tuck your toes under and then walk your hips back towards your heels. You can stay perched on the tips of the fingers, or you might come to sit all the way back onto your heels for a little toes pose, stretching the plantar fascia. Wherever you land, breathe into the stretch. You soften the eyes, soften the brow. Even if you're on your fingers, can you relax around the jaw and the shoulders a little bit? If sitting on your toes is a no-go, go ahead and untuck the toes and then sit back onto your heels. So find a position where you can release the hands from the ground. And then we're just going to float the arms up really easy. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, float the arms back down. Move your arms through that a couple times. Let your arms, your wrists, your fingers feel really light and kind of feathery here. So we're not looking for a bunch of muscular activation. Letting go of tension in the arms, the wrists, the shoulders, the neck. You can keep going forward, so in that frontal kind of plane, or we can start to move it out to the side for a few rounds. And stay long in the neck. If it feels right to rotate the palms with this, great. We've got a little bit more of upper body. So we're going to eventually untuck the toes if you're still tucked. Walk the hands out in front of you, but keep your hips back toward your heels. Let's bring the right hand right between the knees. So if you were to draw a straight line from your knees forward about a foot or so, that's where the right hand's going to land. Press down into your finger pads and the base of your right thumb. Bring your left hand to the back of your head. We're going to open up that left elbow as much as you can. While you're here, go ahead and spiral the right fingers a little bit more to the right. So the right fingers are pointing more toward like 1 o'clock instead of 12, right middle finger. Press down into the right hand to peel open through the left. Keep your left hand where it is, but round down as you bring your left elbow toward your right elbow. You might even lean into it and bend into the right elbow a little. So lean your chest forward more. Push into the right hand. We're going to spin all the way open. Right arm straightens, left elbow is still bent, pointed up. And then do that a couple more times. Just exploring this range of motion in your body. Try and keep your hips pretty still. Nothing wrong with rotating from the hips and the pelvis, but a lot of the time we use the hips and the pelvis to compensate for the fact that we don't have much range of motion in the upper body. The body is so smart. It's just doing what we ask it to do in the way that it can. But by doing some of this mobility work, we can open up different ranges of motion, access other muscular patterns of engagement. And ultimately that just leads to more opportunity for more range of motion in your entire body, the whole system. Next time you're up and open, pause there, reach the left arm up. Right hand might be getting a little fatigued here. Let's circle that left arm a few times. I'm gonna go in both directions. If your shoulder is clunking or clicking or feels uncomfortable, bend your elbow, slow things down, switch directions, and maybe reduce your range of motion. So first thing, if you feel kind of icky in a joint, is slow the movement down. If that doesn't do it, reduce your range of motion. Let's circle that left arm back one more time, breathe in. And then bring your hands to your lap, palms turn upright, so a little meditation mudra, the thumbs connect. Just take some breaths here. Notice any difference in your upper back, your arms, your shoulders, your neck. And keep your hands the way they are for a few more moments as you let your right ear drop toward your right shoulder. And bring your chin to your chest and then slowly bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. And bring the chin to the chest and then lift the chin up, blink the eyes open if they are closed. Open through the neck and the throat. And then hug in through your abdominals. We're gonna bring the left hand down, turn around so I don't hit the wall here. Left hand down, right between your knees, out in front of you just a little bit. And now the left fingers, instead of pointing straight up, rotate them slightly to the left. So that's gonna help you feel that left shoulder blade pull back onto the back of the ribs a bit more. Bring your right hand to the back of the head and then push into the left hand as you spin that right arm up and open. Feel your abdominals are supporting you. So this isn't a really passive moment of our gentle yoga. Breathe in. As you exhale, bring the left elbow down, let the left shoulder round. Maybe you bend into, excuse me, this is the right elbow, huh? Bring your right elbow down. Maybe you bend into your left elbow, rounding the shoulders around your back. Press into the bottom hand, let's go with that, as you inhale the top elbow. And then exhale, round and around. So if I got the right and the left really mixed up, hopefully you're doing the other side. So we're on the second side here. Feel free to close your eyes, to slow things down, to really get into the nooks and the crannies of this movement. Use your breath to find a little bit more space on the inhale and a little bit more of that kind of folded position on the exhale. Might be helpful to picture the inner thighs kind of hugging toward each other as well and staying stable to prevent, in this case, that right hip from pulling back as you open the right elbow. Just 2 more rounds, and then the next time you've got that right elbow up, or one more. Let's release the arm nice and long, and then draw some circles here. Just notice what you feel in the shoulder. Again, if it's clunking or you've got some discomfort, slow things down. Sometimes when we slow down, it gives the body the signal that it's safe, that we're paying attention. Switch the direction. And when our joints and our muscles know that we're paying attention, a lot of the time they don't send as many like pain signals because we have more time to respond to the subtle sensations that are like little tiny red flags instead of the giant glaring like alarm. The next time that right arm is reaching up, pause, really open, breathe in. And then find that seated meditation again. Let your eyes soften or close and just notice what you feel. You may feel a lot of warmth or heat in the upper body and the arms. So you can slow down your exhales to help cool off any of that warmth and bring it into a little bit more balance. It feels like a pleasant warmth instead of a burn. And keep the eyes soft or closed as you tilt your chin up again, opening through the front of the throat and the neck. And then bring your chin back to your chest. Blink the eyes open. Go ahead and stand tall onto your knees. Last shape for today before we lie on the back and do our twist and kind of slow everything way down. Bring your hands to your lower back and then scoop the pelvis under a bit so that you feel like you can lift the upper thigh bone into the hip socket and then lean back from there. Start to press the hips forward a bit as you lift the chin. We're finding a camel stretch here. Give your glutes a little hug so your butt is active here, supporting your lower back, pulling the navel in and up. Not a long hold when you're ready. Slowly come back through a neutral spine. Stay lifted and neutral. Reach your arms forward and then all the way up. Breathe in. Release the arms down as you exhale. Drop the hips, reach the arms, that big breath in. And then exhale, arms down, lift up. 2 more, nice long inhale. Use just enough energy in your legs so you feel supported. Stand tall on the knees as you exhale. Last time, breathe in. And breathe out. Go ahead and swivel your feet to one side or the other as you work your way onto your butt. And hug your right knee into your chest as you roll it out onto your back. Straighten out the left leg for a moment. Circle your right ankle a few times. And slow those circles down. Switch the direction of your ankle circles. Let's extend the right leg back up one more time. So a little hamstring stretch. Check in. And then rebend the knee. T or cactus your right elbow as you guide your right knee across your body to the left. Find your twist. You can point the nose straight up or nod your chin to the right. Come back to the center. Bring your right knee into your chest. Keep hugging the right knee in. Curl the head, the neck, and the shoulders up. And then just one time, little abdominal action, switch and catch your left knee. Drop the right leg, extend the left leg up, head is down at this point. And check in with your left hamstring. When you're ready, rebend the knee and take your spinal twist on this side. See if you can relax through the arms and the shoulders. Feel a gentle stretch in the left side of your chest here. And come back through the center. Let's bring both knees in. And you can choose from here whatever shape you want to finish your practice in. So you could start or end just like you started in Shavasana or with a knee bent version of it. You might also choose to take legs up the wall or find a comfortable seated position. You can always take Shavasana on your belly or on your side as well, but try not to skip this part. We're going to take a couple rounds of a double inhale, exhale breath. Can be a really helpful way to kind of clear out any lingering tension. When you're ready, take a big breath in through your nose. So really big inhale through your nose. Hold it at the top. Sip in a tiny bit more air and then open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. 2 more. Big inhale through your nose. Pause. Sip in a tiny bit more breath. And then open mouth, exhale. Again. Maybe one more. And let go of the breath. Let yourself just float here. Let your mind melt and your muscles melt. Stay here just for a few more moments. You can listen for my voice to end our gentle yoga practice shortly. Bring your attention back to your sense of hearing and any sounds you can hear. And start to invite some movement gently by nodding the head side to side or circling out your ankles and wrists, wiggling your fingers and toes. Eventually, take your time if you're not already in a seat to land in a tall seated position. We'll finish with a cleansing breath, one more stretch. Reach the arms out to your side and then stretch all the way up over your head. Reach as tall as you can. Maybe you sip in a tiny bit more breath again. And then sigh it out. Thank you for hanging out, for stretching, for moving, for breathing. I hope that you feel well, and I hope to see you again soon.